I'm Freya Green, the Membership and Engagement Officer here at the FPA, and welcome to FPA Member Insights, a series of interviews where we will find out more about our members, discuss challenges that they face within their respective industries and their solutions to these challenges. Today I'm joined by Mark Anderson, who is the Director of Wyvern Risk Management. Mark, thank you for joining me today. Mark, please can you provide us with an overview of Wyvern Risk Management, its history and some of the services that you provide?
Okay, right. Good afternoon. My name is Mark Anderson. So I retired from local authority fire service. I was an area manager in Avon Fire Service in 2017 and set the business up with a colleague, initially looking at risk management for health and safety and fire. But as time went on, we approached sort of 2018 and realised that the main focus really needs to be pushed in towards the fire sector because that's where our key skills had come from. Subsequently to that, we've really honed in the skills, and now as a business we look at fire risk assessment in both residential and commercial properties. I have a couple of other consultants who work alongside me who do other consultancy work, either working at emergency planning for people, evacuation plans, additional levels of consultation such as fire strategies, and we deliver some training as well.
So what does a typical client look like for you for the services that you're providing?
Interesting question. We take from a variety of areas of the sector that what's started to happen in the last year is really we've seen a massive growth in the residential requirement for fire risk assessments, particularly type 1 assessments, common areas. There's been a huge shift, I think, by conveyancing solicitors finally waking up and saying they need their clients when they want to sell a flat to have a risk assessment done in the common areas. So across each week, we're inundated with requests for simple type 1 assessments in residential premises. We still manage a number of commercial, smaller properties, businesses, that we work on a bespoke online cloud-based system, but we go back to the key elements of work that are coming in at the moment, seems to focus on residential.
I can see that you're offering a wide range of services. What challenges do you face in the industry, and do you find these challenges differ for each service that you provide?
Yeah, I think that some of the challenges have been about communication. I think particularly if I focus on the residential, and I think there's a huge hook within this, is that you've got managing agents, so estate agents that are looking at lettings, etc. I don't think they fully understand the challenges put out by the sector. They seem to think that all these rules are changing as of last month in January, not realising that the need for risk assessing has been around since 2005. So there's a huge area there. And one of the most frustrating challenges I find as an assessor is when one looks at the conveyancing process, I'm not sure that the solicitors really take note of what is in that fire risk assessment. I know from some of the feedback I've had from clients that it's very much a tick box approach. No matter how much narrative you write in your own risk assessment for the client, no matter how many items you pick up on the action plan for them to do, it doesn't seem to come to me that the conveyancing solicitors are picking up on those areas. So I find that a real challenge because it'd be really easy to just go back and create a tick box using PAS 79, but I don't find that acceptable. So that's a huge area. It's that lack of understanding aligned to everything is starting to cost so much now for landlords.
So how does Wyvern Risk Management counter that challenge? How do you resolve that?
I think it's about communication. Partly, I've tried with getting hold of the conveyancing solicitor to see exactly what they want, what format they want things in. We're a third-party accredited business, so we took the plunge to be BAFE registered as a company, and we get regularly audited. One of the key elements of that is about communication with your client, and as much as we can do is I will work with the client, we'll provide honest feedback to them, and also we do provide like a follow-up service. There's an area I think of challenge comes as well. I don't think you can just do a risk assessment and park it. The problem is, whilst time is money, there is an element you can't keep going back with a client. However, I think that I get clients come back and say, I've done all the items you had in the action plan. Do you need to come back and sign those off? Well, clearly I don't own the risk. but it's trying to get round that to communicate to them to say where they sit within the food chain, shall we say, and getting those areas signed so they fully understand it. I'm not sure companies of my size can crack the nut with the conveyancing solicitors. However, systems such as yours, as the FPA, the IFE, the IFSM, bodies such as that, I think need to be highlighting some of these areas, because there's a huge emphasis on post-Grenfell on high-rise and sort of the intermediate levels of 11 metres and above. But there's a hell of a lot of properties that are requiring this work and these services at a lot lower level, 4 floors, 5 floors premises, that are not quite getting it right.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. What first interested Wyvern Risk Management in the FPA membership?
Well, I was lucky. I worked at the Fire Service College as a tutor back in 2002, 2004, 5 and 6. Before I left, I was kind of aware of certain colleagues who were starting to work for the FPA. Obviously, it's centred at the college. But as an organisation, it provides something, I think, that IFE, who've been around a long time, IFSM, and then some of the other trade bodies don't provide. I think the FPA gives me a great resource library. It's a very broad brush approach it will give across fire safety, across the whole sector. Then looking forward, I started to engage with some of the courses that were offered. I knew some of the tutors, I knew their style of teaching, and that worked for me, both online as well as in the classroom, plus the fact the classroom was at the college, so I quite enjoyed going back. But then it's the online libraries, it's the other areas it provides, such as the podcast. You know, ever so easy to create some CPD just by walking the dog. Headphones on, you haven't got to waste time, you can just carry on doing other things, and it just brings to life so many set areas across the organisation. And the other side of it's really useful for fire risk assessors and the like, just highlighting where the prosecutions currently lie. It's a small snippet that appears in the magazine, and then you can read online, but it's just finding out some of those jobs that have happened in Scotland, in Bradford, in Sussex, all over the UK, and you can start to pull some similarities out of and really kind of go, yeah, okay, I can see where that works for me, to then push that to my clients so they further understand the need for the full assessment process.
Mark, thank you for joining me today, and thank you to our viewers for watching. As an FPA member, you will have access to a wide range of benefits, such as continuous industry updates and insights, exclusive fire safety resources, training and professional development, as well as branding opportunities. You can find out more about becoming a member by visiting our website at thefpa.co.uk. Thank you.